Zoom recording. So we're recording now. Good to see everybody. Welcome to our Tuesday Tech Talk on Google Jamboard. The slides are at bit.ly/126TTT slides. I'll make sure I share those with you at the end. So again, I'm Clint Stevens. I see familiar faces, so I shouldn't have to do too much in the way of introduction. But let's talk about why Jamboard, what it is. So what Jamboard is it is an online whiteboard, basically. So, you've got your SMARTBoard and all the fun things you can do with that, but it's really hard to move that giant board around. It's stuck to your wall. And it's really hard to use it when your students aren't in your classroom if you have to teach remotely today like they had to do out in ESTA. So it would have been a good tool to have. And I presented Jamboard back at the World Schools Conference in 2019 when it was first out, and it's a great tool. But now that COVID has hit, I really think it's a super important tool. And I realized that when I had early on in the pandemic, I had a math teacher from Kane County contact me and said, hey, I spent, a bunch of time setting up this whiteboard in Zoom, and I went to try to use it with my kids and it wouldn't work. Do you know what's going on? Was it a problem I had, or, something that he thought he did wrong? It turns out that the Zoom, the web version of Zoom doesn't work with breakout rooms, doesn't use the whiteboard. So it's just real limited to just being able to meet with your students. So I suggested Jamboard to him, and I'm suggesting it to you guys because it works on anything. It's software that Google designed. They're selling a really nice flat panel touch screen that you can put on wheels and move between conference rooms and classrooms and things like that. But it starts at about $5,000. But Google gives away the software to education for free, and so it'll work on a Chromebook. It'll work on any iOS device or Android device that has a touch screen on it. And I'll actually do some demo from my iPad here in a moment when we get going. So lots of things you can do with Jamboard. The tools change slightly depending on if you're using a web browser or if you're using a touch device, because you can obviously input and do different things with different devices. So I'll kind of show you both. So we do have a demo Jamboard setup. If you want to go there now for free, I'll show you the link after I kind of talk through a little bit and how it works. But I'm going to stop my screen share, and I'm just going to share my window, my full screen here. I want that one. And sound just for fun. Okay. So here's my jam. Whoops, I'm starting on the wrong one. Not starting at the beginning. So you can see there are different frames. I can have multiple frames. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here. That's okay. So this is Jamboard. In the email, I sent you out the link to the iOS and the Android apps. If you want to download it and use that, you can use it, even when you're in the classroom and you just want to be able to step away from your desktop and draw things or write things on a device and be anywhere you can connect to the network or anywhere you have a web browser. You can be interacting with your students and with these Jamboards. So let's go to the next slide. What is Jamboard? It is a real-time interactive whiteboard, that students can participate with from their device. You don't need anything extra or expensive. You just need to be able to, project this somehow, or have your students, connect with their Chromebook, with their phone, with whatever device they've got. Just like any other Google Doc, you can invite specific people to it, to be a viewer, to be an editor, or you can just open up and say anyone on the world can view this. Anyone in the world can edit it, whatever you want to be able to do with those. It is a Chrome app. It is one of those guaranteed, and you can see you can do layering. It's one of those guaranteed apps that you can get from your Google Waffle. You may not have seen it before, but if you scroll down, you should be able to see the Jamboard app. Let's show you that. I've got my drive open here. Here's my Waffle. And then if I scroll down a little bit, there's Jamboard right there. And If you don't see that, let me know and I'll let your, I think most of our districts do have it enabled. It's a opt into Google app. You have to turn it on and for people to be able to use it. But I think we've got most of our districts that have it turned on. But once it's enabled, it's ready to go for anybody. There are some other self-guided lessons if you want to dig a little bit deeper. There's a link there for that. Join from anywhere. I talked about the hardware. I've got a picture of it on the next slide, and it is a core service, so it's guaranteed to be up and ready for you. That's what the Jamboard looks like. Like I said, it's very, very pretty and very corporate, and thankfully they let us poor teachers use the software with whatever devices we have. So I mentioned earlier that the tools that are available change depending on what type of device you're using. So if you're on a browser, or if you're on a Chromebook, you could add images from Chrome, search drive. So here's my toolbar over here on the left. I've got different size pens and different colors, real basic. I've got an eraser, so I can draw something. Ooh, I'm so artistic, you can tell. I've got an eraser. I can also, up here on the upper left, step backwards, step forwards. You can zoom in on the whole frame or just parts of it, or you can, with the pointer tool here, you can click and drag and resize, rotate any object that you've got there on the screen. This guy here will allow me to add in sticky notes. So it's a great way to brainstorm ideas, just quickly, rapid fire, hit save, and then I'm ready to give me another one, another idea. And I don't know why I say it with an A, but there we go. And then cancel. I can change the colors and things like that. And then once you have your notes, you can drag them around, organize them into groups, whatever your imagination or your ideas can come up with. You can duplicate notes once you've got them there. Again, layer them, edit those to change the text, whatever. Or I can just delete it, or I believe I can drag it down to the bottom of the screen. Nope, that's on the iPad. So let me actually switch to that. And you won't see this, but you can see that. Whoops, I'm drawing. I want to do that. Let's see, undo. Make sure I've got the right tool. And you can see that somebody is dragging that and deleting that note. So, so I've got those tools. I have a shape tool. I can draw circles, triangles, real basic shapes. Insert text. And then I have a laser pointer. That's kind of nice. It kind of disappears after a second, so you can follow those around. On mobile, your options change. You've got a few more things you can do. Since there's a camera, since it's a touch device, it's kind of built more, it's more like a whiteboard. So let me switch to the next slide. And I'm actually going to switch my screen over to my iPad. So one moment. Appreciate your patience. There we go. Should be coming shortly. Aha. And just to prove I'm on my iPad, there you go. There's my virtual background, or the background that I set of a photo I took on vacation in Hawaii. Would be nice to be there, but not today. That's okay. So I can, again, manipulate these with my finger. On mobile devices, I have a few more options. The pens are fun. I'm actually going to drop a new frame in here. So I hit the plus. There we go. I have a new frame. So on the pens, I have, still the same pens, the same colors, but these assistive drawing tools are kind of fun. So this one is text recognition. So I can turn my chicken scratch into editable text. So it's pretty smart that way. Let's put that up here. I can change that to shape recognition. This is awesome for math lessons. So if you can't draw a square to save your life, or if it takes too long, or drawing a perfect circle or triangles or whatever, just kind of speeds things up like that. And again, whoops, it's waiting for me to try to do something there. You have to remember to change the mode if you want to, again, rearrange these things, rotate them around. And you can do that with 2 fingers as well, pinch zoom, all those kind of fun touch gestures that you may have become familiar with. Oops, I want to delete it. Delete. If I want to select everything quickly, select both those things, I can delete those, just draw a square around it. This is the one I like the best though. This is called Auto Draw. And I think it's even a website. If you go to autodraw.google.com or something like that, I can just start doodling and it'll do its best to figure out what I'm trying to draw, because I'm a terrible artist. You know, I can draw a little cat face or whatever. And it's saying, is that an owl? Maybe. I'm trying to do a cat face, so there we go. What else? Any requests? I drew an elephant earlier. It kind of worked. Let's see. Let's do some big ears and a big nose that comes down with some feet. And a little tail that comes off. How'd I do? That's close enough to an elephant. So, whoops, I'll do that. Yeah, I'm trying to draw a bench. Anyway, auto draw is kind of fun, and that tool isn't on the web version just because you can't really draw that easily with a mouse. All these alerts coming in. So that's the pens. Again, laser pointer, I still have, and then on the plus, instead of just a little document, I can add in sticky notes, images. I can bring in from lots of different places, clip art. I can search for different things online. There we go, maybe. It's getting confused with my touches here. Put your mascot out there, Nesco. Cat.
Soldier.
A soldier, okay.
Rabbits and eagles.
Soldier, clip art. There we go. And if I want to do multiples, I can just keep on adding them in there. There we go. Whoops, I went out of editing mode. So clip art, and I can search for just about anything. I can add photos. I can add drive content. So anything you have in Google Drive, you can add. The camera's kind of cool. You don't really want to see my water bottle probably. I do have an interesting sticker on there though. Does anyone recognize that? Anyone Alton Brown fan? All right. But you can take a picture, everybody, and insert that in. Use that photo. It brings it in so small. I don't know why. That's probably better for me. But imagine what you can do with the camera on a Jamboard roaming around your classroom. The students are working independently or group work or something like that, and you want to just quickly share, process or ideas, or hey, look what this group is doing. Just open up a new frame or whatever, snap a picture, pop it up there, and you can have a record of what's going on, and students can all kind of see and share, what you're seeing, or they can share what they're doing. Lots of different ways that you can use that. And I think you can use the camera. Let me switch back. Let me see if I can grab a picture from my desktop. Let me just try to do it here. Let's see, get on the right slide. I got ahead. Any questions while I'm trying to get in the right spot here? Let's see, image, yeah, camera. I have to allow it, I have to tell Chrome it's okay. So here we go. Insert. Kind of distorted it. Now that's interesting. Oh, I'm trying to manipulate it on my iPad screen. But that's from my browser or from my desktop. So the kids can use their Chromebook camera to capture ideas. I'm going to delete that. But lots of different things you can put in there. You can put in documents from Google to annotate, to talk about. Image library, those are from my Google images. And then they do have some stickers which are kind of fun. You can put a little thumbs up on something, or try again kind of thing. Lots of different ways you can interact and communicate with your kids. Okay, next slide. Can I get everything on that slide? Yeah. Okay. I just went through all these. So markers, I talked about those, the shape recognition, handwriting recognition, the select tool, the laser pointer, we're good on all that stuff. Like that tiger I drew, that's kind of cool. Any other ideas? Do you guys have any thoughts or opinions or ideas of how you could use, I'm gonna stop my share for a moment. Or let's do this instead. I'm gonna skip ahead and I'm gonna give you the link. So if you'd like to open up a new tab and drop, and I'll actually put this link in the chat as well. Let me do that real quick. Copy that link. And where'd my chat?
Lynn, I have a question.
Yeah, please do.
Can you talk to us about the one on the district page? I looked at it and it looks like I can edit that. Does everyone in the district have the same one? And how do we use that?
There's a Jamboard on your district page?
I went on the waffle to the little link on that.
Okay. So those are your jams. So they save in Drive, just like a presentation or a document or whatever else. You can create them and share them so that anybody in the district can edit those. Right, so
the one I am seeing is just mine. I mean, it's got stuff I can move it. Somebody's already been drawing on it. Is that just my own?
I don't know. If you like, share your screen. Let's see what it looks like. If you'd like. I mean, it's possible that or someone has created one and shared it out with the districts. So that's Chris. And so I think she created one and shared it out with the entire district. That's Chris Hott, who I work with. So if you go up here if you click on share on the upper right, you should see that Chris is the owner, the blue share button, yeah. So you see that Chris Hott is the owner and she shared it with other people. I don't know, but she's got this one set so that anyone on the internet with the link can edit. And that's how I've set the one that I've shared with you, just to make it easier so I don't have to go in and share it with specific people. But it works just like any other Google document. You can click to share. So go ahead and click on share again. I don't know if you're going to have the rights to change this or not. Or let's just have you stop.
Am I on new share? Just stop it. Okay.
Yeah, and I'll show you what I'm getting on about on the sharing stuff. So share screen. Let's share this one. Okay. So when I click the share button, I have this. I don't have it shared with anyone specifically, but if I wanted to share it with Kathleen Hayward. I don't have it. What is your email, Kathleen?
Under Kath.
This is Kath?
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. You got the shortened version. So I can give her editing rights or viewing rights. There's no commenting like there is on a Google document. Or if I want to set it so that anyone in the world, if they have the link, can be an editor or a viewer. And I've just made it this way because I'm only sharing it with you in this meeting, and I'm not worried about everybody else in the world coming in and messing up my board, my document. But you could share it with a specific classroom. You could, as you're going on, just allow someone to have access for a moment and then take it back, or just give everyone the ability to view that link while everybody else can while you're editing. So the sharing managing isn't the simplest in the world. You can't just like flip a switch and turn editing on and off for your kids. It's a couple of links in order to do that. But I won't kick you guys out, so I'll let you still be able to edit that if you would like. Does that help answer your question?
Yep, thanks.
Perfect. All right. So again, the link for this, if you want to jump in and give it a try or share some ideas, is bit.ly/TTTJam2021. And this is a copy specifically for this meeting. So mess it up, delete stuff. I don't care. There's always that you can always go back, step backwards. There's no real revision history like there is in a Google document. Let's see where everyone's working. I can see that there's folks on that slide. Okay, cool. And you see the little icons there? So that's how I can see who's on which slide and who's editing what. I shouldn't laugh. That's as good of a face as I could ever draw. But again, I'm going to go and cheat. So I'm going to come in here. Let me share my different screen. Let me share my iPad screen. And I'm going to do a handwriting or a shape recognition. Let's see what I can do if I draw a face. Aha, there we go. Or see how good of a drawing I am? That's what I meant to draw, right? It's fun to have. So,
tell me one more time, how did you get to that shape recognition? How did you do that?
Oh, it's only, like I said, the tools vary depending on what device you're using. So only on a touchscreen device, I went into the pen, and then down below where this assistive drawing tools are, and they're even kind of hidden then, tap that to show them. And then there's the text recognition, shape recognition, and then the auto draw. But so if you used it on your phone, you'd have those tools, or anything with a touch screen. But on a browser, you're just stuck with, a highlighter, a pen, a pencil, stuff like that. Good question. Okay, getting close to time. So any other ideas on when or why or how you would use Jamboard with your students? Feel free to open up your mic. Drop it in the chat. I lost my chat window somewhere along the way, so I haven't really been watching that. No, nothing in the chat. Okay. Well, let it ruminate, let it, kind of marinate, and hopefully you'll come up with some ideas. These you can, share through Canvas. Really easy to share with Google Classroom if you're using those. And so hopefully that's, especially for math teachers, art teachers, anyone, who wants to be creative and do some of those 4 C's of 21st century learning with their students. Critical thinking, collaboration, even giving them a bunch of icons and having them group them into, preset categories, or let them determine the categories and group them themselves, or you give the categories and they come up with clip art or whatever else to put in those areas. Just lots of ways to use these Jamboards with your students. So let's see. I'll just jump to that one. So questions, answers. I'll stop my screen share. Any other questions on anything technology related, anything going on in school? Yeah.
Clint, this is probably a stupid question, and you may have said this and I missed it, but so if you have this Jamboard up here, so is it possible for every student who has their Chromebook that everyone can put their own things on there? Did you say that already? Okay.
Yeah. So what you would do is you would, get the link to them somehow, and then under sharing, just change it so that anyone with the link can edit. The disadvantage of that, let me maybe show my screen real quick one more time. Let's see. Desktop 2. Never know which screen I'm doing here. There it is. Okay. So when I go to share and change this down here, it says get link. Click on that. Anyone, and normally it defaults to restricted. So only people added can share the link. I just changed this to anyone with the link, or it might be better for you just to change it to your district. So this will say, Millard School District, since kids and teachers have the same email address. And then just change this to editor. So as long as they have the link, they can either be an editor or a viewer. And there you go. I'm going to change that to anyone because you don't work in Southwest Educational Development Center. And I don't want to kick you out of it. But yeah, that's where you would change that. If you just want them to be able to view it, you can say anyone with the link can view, and you can drive it. But that's how you can, change those rights with a couple of clicks. Good question. Okay, I've got the role in the chat. The YouTube playlist where this will be posted here within about a half an hour, 40 minutes. And again, the link to our Matt Miller video series if you guys want to review those later on. Any other questions? Oh, let me share my screen one more time. You guys are getting whiplash from me going back and forth. Go back to my slides. So again, it's in there, your Jamboard is in the Google app tray, the waffle, or jamboard.google.com. And then here's next month's schedule, if you're curious. So next month, we're going to talk a little bit about using Google and Canvas together, how you can use the LTIs and things like that. Loom Pro, Loom is a screencasting tool, allow you to create little instructional videos and how-tos and announcements and things like that for your kids. Chris is going to take over on the 16th. That's my birthday, so I probably won't be here that day to talk about some new features in Canvas. And then Chris will also be here on the 23rd to talk about Nepris. Nepris is a tool that used to be subscription-based, but now it's the state has purchased it for a year. But it's career information. It's being able to if you wanted to talk to an aerospace engineer or a geologist or any of these other professions, if students are curious, it's a way to connect with professionals in different careers. It's pretty cool thing. And just a note, Chris and I are probably be on the road trying to come back from Escalante on the 2nd next week. So this will be pre-recorded. I'll share the link out with you guys on Monday. It'll be Jared Corvili back from a couple of months ago. So won't be live, won't be me, but it's still real good information for you. So hopefully that doesn't offend anybody, but we're going out on Monday and we're working in Escalante. We're going to Boulder. We're going all the way out to Boulder on Monday to work with the school out there. And then we're working in schools in Garfield on our way back. So we probably won't be back in time by 3:30 to do this next week. So apologies on that, but it still should be good content for you. Any last questions? McKay, Kath, you're welcome. Appreciate you guys being here. Sorry for the bad link. Sorry for the 3 o'clock thing. I'll figure this out someday. All right. If no questions, I'll stop the recording and we'll see you guys.